Hey there, folks, and welcome to Arcane Assist. This week, it's myself, Evan, and John's back on the channel with some Crucible Guard. Yeah.
Hey guys, how you doing? Took a little bit of a break to, paint my models up and get them all ready, start recording with them. So, here we go.
You've had quite a few games with them thus far, so you're ready to put some models on the table and show us how it's done.
Yeah, I got a lot of games under my belt with Crucible Guard, Celestial, Lukas, Locke.
Yeah. Why don't you go ahead and tell us a little bit about the caster you're playing today and your list?
I'm playing some Lukas today. Crucible Guard in the Magnus Optus theme, the fun Merc theme.
The infantry
Infantry bring. Basically, the reason that theme, you need to bring Lynus and Edrea, the heal pot. I really like it. D3 healing and then D3 plus 2 from Morray on the attachment. Solo is a Trancer. I got Alyce as well. And then for my Battlegroup, I got double Liberators, the Arc nodes. They're really good models, not for arcing, like just being defense 13 Ashen Veil.
They're really hard to hit. They're 13 base and have Ashen Veil.
Yeah, they're 13,
and
17.
they have a shield, so they're really 15, 19 in melee against living models.
It's really good. And they got a Vindicator. Really good jack. I like it. Additional die against constructs. Add a fear against war beasts. Magical weapon whenever he wants.
Yeah.
It's just
a
really good.
A little bit of tech against everything. It's a nice utility piece.
I got double breath rockets. Those are just like a staple in most of my lists. I usually bring 2, if not at least bring 1. Mm-hmm. Withering, -2 armor. Yeah, they're just really good anchor. Like, it really makes armor swings bigger.
Yeah, and they're a huge AoE, so they can typically clear out a lot of models. You also have a pretty interesting infantry loadout for this list.
Yeah, I kind of went double min stormtroopers, double min assault troopers. My pink scheme's pink, so I got like min light pink, lim dark pink. It's pretty sweet, so I deploy them on the opposite side of the boards of each other. So I got dark pink, light pink. It's really cool. It looks really good on the table. I got to touch up my bases a bit, but other than that, it looks really good. The stormtroopers, if they aim, they get steam pressure, so they shoot 14. They become rat 8, which is really big. Assault troopers, they threat 10. They have Ashen Veil. And both units, all 4 units, have carapace as well. So again, shooting, they're a little tough to take off the table.
Yeah, which is pretty good against my list, actually. Because, actually, you've got one more unit, so
and
why
then
don't you tell us about that?
The quick unit I throw in here is the Alchemists. The clouds help protect my army going up the table. Also, Lukas could put some clouds out, so I can have like 7 clouds out on the table if I really wanted to.
Yeah, you got this really neat, really heavily armored against guns list that also has a cloud wall, because most guns that can ignore clouds aren't really high pow. So those that can are just kind of shrugged off, and the high pow guns that would typically chew through some armor aren't going to get there in the first place. And
they also have a cute little tech. They have Ice Cage, hit 3 times AoE Ice Cage. Mm-hmm. So if it hits something 3 times, it becomes stationary.
Yeah, AoE Ice Cage is really good.
It has helped me in a few matchups, and also just their prowl. So when they make their own clouds, they're stealth. So like they're a cute little utility piece for 7. They're 7 points, pretty good. But in the other theme, the Jack theme, they're free. So like give or take. And then I have min Rocketmen with the UA. Basically a staple unit in the Crucible Guard faction. I feel if you don't have a Rocketman at all in the list, you're either the McKay for heavy base or you're, I don't know where. I've never actually made a list with Rocketman at least min. So,
yeah, they're a very good like frontline jamming piece. Even if you don't have something like Transmute with Silvestro to make them def ridiculous, even in this list, they run up, they get in the way, and they're still high defense and hard to deal with, regardless of whether or not they have that Transmute, or even if they're not in defensive action, they are still hard to deal with. So yeah, my list. I'm playing a fairly typical Rasheth Winds of Death list. I was looking through all the scoring we had on the channel, and I was like, all right, what haven't we done yet? And astonishingly, we haven't put this list on the channel yet, and that's it was surprising just because how common and powerful this list is. So this has been in the meta for a while now. We've got Rasheth with his battle group of a Raider and 2 Shamans, as well as a Kreia. This battle group is just staple in a lot of Winds of Death lists, regardless of whether or not they're Rasheth, because you get the Shamans who can cast Snipe from the Raider and Force Aura from the Kreia, so they just are a huge utility piece, really nice budget battle group that fills out your points and just brings so much utility to the table. I particularly like this battle group against Crucible Guard because not only do the Cyclops Shamans ignore the clouds and a lot of the typical stuff they can put out for line of sight blocking, but they just ignore models and everything for line of sight, so they can shoot the key unit attachments and models against a list like Silvestro, or if Lukas had brought something that's going to be a bit more of a frontline unit that wants to take either Mirage or Iron Flesh, I can walk up and snipe Morray out pretty easily so that you don't get that Merc bonus. And then I can also snipe out with the other Shaman the Rocketman UA. So they lose defensive action on the next turn. So you can take out some pretty key UAs and make the Crucible Guard player lose a lot of their typical utility fairly early in the game because of how long a range you threat. Got the double turtles. Pretty great with Rasheth. You get the feet and you get the just massive armor swings so they can kill basically anything in the game with their guns. Soul Ward for Alyce, Dakar for Vet Leader. You get Paingiver Beast Handlers because they're there for tokens on the turtles. Venator Flare Cannon Crew, Venator Reavers, and Venator Slingers. I just realized that there are 2 Soul Wards in this list, and I only deployed 1. Oh well, still legal if you're 3 points down, especially because one of them's free. But yeah, no big deal. It probably wouldn't have been a big deal.
There's not a huge impact it would have in this game.
Anyways, that's it for my list. I've actually debated trying to fit in this Winds of Death list a Supreme Guardian, because what you can do with that is super interesting. You can recur your slingers to keep bringing them back as arc nodes, because when Rasheth kills them with his arcing, with whatever he happens
Blood magic or whatever.
Yeah, his dark rituals, I believe the rule is called. They die, and then this has to be post CID actually, because then they can direct the spirit back to themselves, and then bring the slinger back next turn. So you can just keep your infinite arcing machine going. It's also pretty nice because you can recur some Reavers, but it's more important for
and
the
it's also just a really good model.
Yeah. I mean, you can have Arcane Vortex.
Yeah,
you have another pretty decent gun if it's on even if it's on a pretty slow chassis. But yeah, some thoughts.
That's cool.
But yeah, aside from that, let's get on into the game. So I won the die roll and chose to go first. You picked the side of the table with a lot more protection for your army. Now, since I'm playing Winds of Death, I get the wall bonus. Typically, I don't actually deploy this, but since I have a fairly open field on my side of the table, I do choose to put the wall down. I feel like the wall is often a trap since you're running so many huge bases in the turtle list, and because once Rasheth parks himself behind it, he typically can't leave that spot because he's too slow and his base is too fat for him to be able to get over it by going at any angle, because he's a large base that's speed 4, and it's hard to position with that wall there, especially with huge bases and just Rasheth being slow. And Rasheth wants to be the one behind the wall, but again, it often costs him a lot when he wants to go up in feet because he just can't get the proper positioning. But in this case, I feel like I've got pretty open terrain on my side of the table, so I put the wall down, basically so that Rasheth, when he chooses to be, can be a millimeter out of the kill box and behind a wall, very safe from everything, especially against a super hyper assassination caster like Lukas. I also have my turtles deploy on either side, facing outwards, so that the beast handlers can hit them on not double ones because they get the back arc bonuses against them, and then the turtles can just run up, be super aggressive, and force John to play a little bit more cautious on his first turn than he otherwise would like to be. Put the cannon crew near the top side of the zone. Put the reavers in the bottom, and I have to AD the slingers. My support staff go in between the two turtles.
It's a pretty good list for this
Pretty
scenario as well. Like recon.
Yeah, I also I throw most of my battle group, the double shaman and the raider, towards the top side of the table. As you can probably see by now, my Rasheth is a huge conversion piece that really stands out because he's mounted on top of a extreme gladiator. He might fall over once or twice this game because he's a little top heavy, but yeah, you'll be able to see Rasheth fairly clearly throughout this game.
So my deployment is pretty like mirror image of each other. One Liberator top, one Liberator bottom, one unit assault, light pink assault troopers, light pink stormtroopers, top zone, and then it'll basically be the dark pink and dark pink troopers bottom zone. And basically my plan, and each side will have a light and a pink death rocket. So it's pretty, a lot of pink on the table on my side of the table. Vindicator decided to put right top zone, hopefully to get around the forest to see his objective if needed, or to kill anything that comes into my zone. It hits pretty hard when it has a -4 armor swing, so I'm hoping I will just be able to pick off what I can. Lukas is in the middle of the table with my Rocketman and his little healing companions. My AD will eventually be my Trancer and my Alchemists. So yeah, basically a setup for a cloud wall using the force in the middle of the table, hopefully to be protected first turn. And yeah, that's basically my turn. I pass over to Evan, and here we go.
Yeah, so that's your advanced deploy. Trancers are terrifying. I hate them. I'm glad John only took one in this list because that's easy enough to deal with. So basically, first thing I'm going to do, deal with that thing so it's gone off the table. Don't have to worry about it the rest of the game. Run some slingers up, get into arcing position.
Yeah, this is how you learn. I totally did not...
Yeah,
totally forgot. It's been a while. It's been a while since I played a Rasheth player. And yeah, he's like, yeah, I'm just going to run my unit and kill that Trancer. I'm like, how? You're running. He's like, you'll see. Well...
And then you did.
Yeah.
So, fairly simply, I move up behind the forest to protect my slingers from dying entirely. I'm planning to only have to arc one spell this turn. I probably could have thrown a couple more slingers up and just arced onto some combat alchemists with Sunder Spirits, maybe mitigate the cloud wall. But I don't think it's that important. I have the one eyeless sight piece because, again, forgot to deploy an extoller. But that's on me. So, slingers move up in position to kill a Trancer.
Big boy Rasheth.
Big boy Rasheth. Extreme Rasheth. Walks up.
You even have your own widget for him.
Yeah, man. I love that widget. Arcs the Sunder Spirit through. Yeah, basically, if John had more than one Trancer, I would have, like, 1-to-1, just Sunder Spirits, like, kill my entire unit of slingers to deal with that, because screw those things.
So, Trancers get advanced deploy. They're 13-11, Repo 3 because of theme bonus. Force Bearer, Mental Force, basically
You can boost.
I can boost.
So, here's the scary thing about them. If you have more than one can go up, and then the other one can walk behind it, punch it in the back,
and it has slam.
Slam it D6 inches into you, and then when it dies, it explodes.
At a PAL 12.
Yeah. So screw all of that nonsense. We're killing it, getting rid of it, because I don't want it to just run into all of my slingers, and then I have to choose between losing them all to free strikes or choose to lose them all to the Trancer freaking exploding.
Yeah, there's a few cute little tricks. You run a Trancer up, you shoot your own Trancer in the back, and it explodes. There's a few little things.
They're so good for 3 points. I don't know why more people aren't taking them. I whip each turtle only twice and heal them up. Basically, I want them to be at basically full health, and I feel like the guns that John has are going to give me that last rage token probably, and if not, then I'm okay with 2. Reavers are going to spread out as far as they possibly can to not get just pasted by AoE 4s. We're going to move the Dakar. I'm so focused on not getting him killed by blast damage that I kind of move him away from the flag. I should probably be prepping him to run onto the flag, but thankfully the Extoller is there if I feel the need to run onto that flag next turn. If not, I can get into position for the turn after when I can actually score. So your turn 1. What's your plan, John?
I juice for 3. Oh, yeah, I'm playing Lukas. So Lukas has his ability where he can juice at the start of his turn. He gains 3 focus for juicing, and basically keeps it on him the whole game.
Well, it's not always 3. You
It's
can
3.
choose
No.
to put enough
1, 2,
up
or
to
3, okay?
and you get a focus for each of them.
And at the end of your activation, you take that much damage per focus, per juice box, it's called, you've taken.
Yeah, for each juice
So
token you
you
have
just
on you.
do the math. If you make it to turn 7, that's 21 juice tokens. You're dead.
Important to mention that they stay between turns.
Yes, and they can't be reduced.
And yes, the focus or the damage you take can't be reduced. Can be healed, however.
Yes.
Which is important because you have a lot of things that heal in your list. You got
my objective.
You got your objective, Lynus, and
Morray. Yep, they all heal. And basically, for the first turn, I won't take anything because Morray heals me D3 plus 2 no matter what. Heals me 3. So, my turn is basically setting up Alchemists with the Cloud Wall. I juice for 3. I'm measuring out all the time the top zone because my Vindicator has a shot at these 3 slingers in the middle of the table. So, if I can, knowing they can arc through them, I'm just like, well, if I can just get them off the table early, less things I gotta worry about. So my first turn is I take a few proxy bases out here and make sure I don't block my line of sight or my anything like that. We laser it. We make sure it's all right. It's not a problem. So now it's just planning my turn out. My min assault troopers run up, just kind of like stagger them a bit. So if he wants to bring a turtle in, he has to like bring it in on a weird angle. And one of them will be over a wall with Ashen Veil, so he'd be defense 15 versus turtle. And then the other ones just kind of hold back and hopefully that he'll try to take some pot shots. Like, I have a love-hate relationship with assault troopers. They are really good when they get the alpha off and when going up the table, but they're really bad once they get engaged. So my Vindicator hits, and then I boost damage on the leader, and I kill all 3 of these models.
Yeah. I was really careful with the bottom unit to avoid blast.
Kill 2 models. Sorry.
I was not very careful with the slinger unit. I should have been a little bit more cautious. I was like, oh, I'm safe because I'm behind the forest, which is just wrong. I should have been a little bit more careful with that, but I wasn't. Thankfully, he only killed 2, not 3. Thanks, blast damage.
Yeah, I only gave him 1 to boost him 1. Alyce walks up and Harmonious is my caster. This is the only piece I have for guidance as well in my list. So I kind of walk her up. She repels 3 behind the wall. Lukas' turn. Lukas 8 focus. Control of 16. So like when he juices to 8, his control is 16. If he juices for 7, his control is 14. It's all based on how he juices. He's a base 5 caster. So it's pretty neat. I like him a lot.
Yes. Yeah, important to note that the juice tokens also give you +1 focus.
Yes.
Like the focus stat, not +1 focus point.
Yeah, it was weird to get used to him, but I figured it out. I basically put Iron Flesh on my bottom unit of assault troopers, so now they're 22 from shooting, and immune to blast. So like, arm 22 from his guns. I'm pretty sure I'll be able to move him up the table as slow as possible and get basically engage eventually. And then I'm just deciding how many clouds I want to put out. So I decided to put out 2 Burning Ash Clouds. So a lot of tech in this list is like Burning Ash Clouds -2 to hit, Ashen Veil is -2 to hit. So a lot of,
Grand total of -4 against a living model. I mean, it's really good against hordes, not so much against...
100%. Hordes cast... I find hordes caster are harder to assassinate, but easier to be safe against.
You can play a better attrition game against hordes.
Yes, and then War Machine casters are easier to...
Just kill.
Yeah, I run my... So my Liberators are arc nodes, which also can arc while they're engaged. So, like, a lot of tech. Like, the Liberator just runs behind this wall. He's defense 17 right now behind this wall. So if he wants to take some shots, try to kill him, be my guest. He's also behind a cloud and a forest, so it's like he has to put a lot of resources into killing my Liberator there. And that Liberator just threats the whole table. Because they're speed 6. And my spells are Force Hammer and Disintegrate. Disintegration is basically, if I hit you, you're -2 armor, and it's a POW 13. So there's a heal bot. They walk up, they heal. Lynus does Zephyr. And I Reaper 3 away. Excuse me.
Edrea.
Edrea, yes. Yeah. And then I'm just setting up for where I put the rest of my models to decide where I'm going to be for the following turn. Usually my turn 1 is usually my longest turn. And then when I hit my feet turn, it usually takes up most of my clock. And if I usually don't kill you or be killed, then that's how my feet works. So my Death Rocket walks up. He shoots 14. It's AoE 4, so if I get a lucky drift, maybe I can kill some. Goes 6 inches to the 6. Grabbing an AoE 4. It clips 2 of these guys in the bottom of the table. And basically it adds Withering, which is -2 armor and no tough.
I think it's just the one we decided on. I could be wrong, though.
No, it was 2.
Oh, it was 2. Okay, never mind. I was wrong.
And then they had Repo because of the theme. So, like, a walk up 4, shoot 14, Repo back 1. It's walking up the board very slowly, but basically makes Evan have to think of how to position and not clump up. So my turn now is Rocketmen. What do I do with them? Well, they want to go just run. Run 14. Why not? Get in front of stuff. They're base 14. They go to 18 in the rubble. And they go to 16 in the forest. So it's just some puzzles for you to solve if you want to come charging in or trampling in. Yeah, that is my turn. I set up pretty aggressively, but my cast is pretty safe. So, Evan, on you.
All right. So, this is really awkward for me, actually. When I look at the table, I see that all the important stuff is more or less out of my melee range or not worth going into. I have the option of Alyce sighting the bottom turtle and charging into those assault troopers. But I would be in a burning ash cloud, and I would be in Ashen Veil. So as we talked about earlier, that's -4 to hit. Makes me a whopping -2. So I need 9s to hit those assault troopers. And then, after I only maybe kill 2 of them, the 5 more that are behind him, the 1 more assault trooper and the 3 more shock troopers definitely kill a turtle. Just 100%, like, Lukas is like, disintegrate. The rocket withering humors me, and then the turtle just dies. So it's not really worth it to me. Top side, I have 1 assault trooper I can charge. And then I get some gunshots into some stuff behind. But there aren't any great targets. The Dragon's Breath rocket's a good target, but only if I get 3 shots. Because the Dragon's Breath rocket only dies if I put 3 shots into it. But even then, it's Def 12, Arm 14. I don't get volume fire against it because it's man-sized, so it counts as a small base.
Yep.
So I'm still only at 5. I need 7s to hit. It's Arm 14. Dub 1s will kill a model if I hit it. But I need to hit it. And I need at least 3 shots. 3 7s in a row, not great odds. Not great odds. But if I can run a model, arc a Sunder Spirit onto it, then kill a model, then maybe I only need 2 shots to do it. But that's a lot of resources, right? That's a Sunder Spirit, that's a Slinger. Things that could be going into other models. So we hold up on that plan for a moment. We're going to try to clear out these Rocketmen from the bottom rubble. I go in, mini feet rather, with the Reavers to get range onto some things, and I get range onto the Dragon's Breath rocket on the bottom with the Reavers. Same deal here. If the Reavers can take out a member or 2 of that cannon, then the turtle has a good shot of taking it out, which reduces John's odds of killing my turtle by a lot. Over the course of these 3 individual Reaver shots, I choose not to CRA. They need 7s to hit and 5s to kill. So odds are I maybe kill 1, probably kill 2. I miss my first shot, hit my second shot, don't roll a 5 for damage, hit my third shot, and don't roll a 5 for damage. So I don't kill any of the Dragon's Breath rocket crew members with my Reaver unit, which again means that the turtle is super unlikely to kill it either, because the turtle can stay behind the clouds, shoot at the Dragon's Breath rocket, and repo out of the threat range of some dudes. But again, not great. I'm still giving up a lot, and he can still probably kill a turtle with a couple good disintegrates and some charges. So I want to play pretty conservatively this turn, make John come into my feet range, make it so that I have to, or I can shoot a lot more guys down as they come in, get threat with a lot more with my turtles. So I decide, maybe we can do some work in the top zone. Maybe we can try some guys. The shamans can take a shot, basically, without any bad stuff happening to them. Aim, boost a hit. I'll hit a Carapace guy. It's dice -8, so chances are I do 2.5 damage. I do 1. And I was like, with both shamans, I kill 1 Carapace guy. And with both shamans, I don't kill any. I do 3 damage to 1, which again, the odds on that aren't terrible. I mean, could roll a little higher and accidentally kill him with 1 shaman, but instead the dice happen to go the other way, and that's fine. I'm like, okay. Excuse me. I'm like, okay. Well, we can run some guys up and we can chuck a Sunder Spirit or 2 out. We can use the turtle to go kill some dudes. And this wall's great for me because if I just stay back and use my guns or repo away from it, none of the assault or shock troopers have Pathfinder. So the charges are going to be basically just entirely mitigated except for the 1 or 2 guys on the flanks of that wall. So I'm like, okay, we can do some stuff here. We're just gonna try to put some work into the models. We're gonna ignore the Dragon's Breath rocket because I think that I can survive because I don't think he can get enough models to charge me. We'll try to kill enough of the Carapace armor guys to just make it so that you can't kill my turtle with melee. All right, so we run the slingers into position. We keep 1 back so we have an arc node for later turns, and we decide where we want to go. I'm still trying to figure out exactly what I want to do with the bottom turtle. He's probably just going to dial up some shots and throw them into stuff that don't matter. Again, Pathfinder being an issue for John in the bottom zone because that huge rubble piece is there. So I can stay back with the turtle, take some pot shots at some stuff, have it be pretty inconsequential for me because I can just stay out of threats and be fine. So Raider walks up. I make a shot at a combat alchemist because I forget they have prowl, and I'm like, oh, okay, well, that was really the only thing he could shoot. He can't see anything else, so I'm not going to complain about it. I have no other targets, so I'm not going to target something else. He's just going to move up 6 inches, and it'll be fine. Rasheth saunters on up a little bit, stays behind his little wall, arcs a Sunder Spirit, boost to hit the guy there, boost damage, and he doesn't quite kill him.
Does 3 to him.
Does 3. A Sunder Spirit is dice -4 on them. So again, a boosted Sunder Spirit should kill a guy. Unfortunately, it does not. So I both use that resource of the slinger, use some fury. It's not great. I think that was 2 Sunder Spirits.
You did 2. One to injure one before, and it hit, but did no damage.
Yeah.
And the other one did 3 damage.
So the Sunder Spirits do nothing except a little bit of damage. Turtle. So I decide, okay, I didn't kill enough. Turtle has to go in now. I get 4 shots, and I decide to shoot some random dudes. These shots probably should go into the Dragon's Breath rocket. I kind of just figured there's 2 damaged guys there. Even through Carapace, I can kill them. That's probably enough. But I think this was a bit of a mistake. I think the Dragon's Breath rockets are just so important to you in this matchup. It probably should have been the thing I went after. But I do a lot more damage to another guy, and I managed to pick him off. and then I repo away. So again, you can't really get into melee with that turtle at all, and I am not sure you have the ranged presence to kill him.
Yeah, you basically neutered my top assault troopers, and I don't have recursion like in my other lists I do. So basically, taking out what you can or putting any damage on what you can right now is really good against my army.
This turtle gets eyeless sight from the extoller. I back the Kreia up so I have room to repo with the turtle, and then the Kreia also puts up Force Aura. This turtle's just going to aim, take some incidental shots. He's just going to play it safe this turn. He only gets 3 shots. He'll shoot at the combat alchemists, mitigate that cloud wall for later turns. I think he kills 2 of them.
Yeah, he takes 2 of them out.
And then repos back. Not a great use of a turtle, but it's better than getting it killed.
Yeah, 100%. Like you've been saying, the whole Pathfinder issue on my side of the board is it's tough. I don't have a way to get Pathfinder out in this list, so it's kind of like I'm just going to slowly mosey my way up the board and do what I can for damage.
Yeah, so turn 1, Beast Handler's in this list. They whip your turtles, they heal your turtles. Turn 2, they run up, and turn 3, they become Marc nodes. So they replaced the Slinger's role around turn 3 or 4.
That's funny.
So they moved up, and now it's your turn. So looking across the table, what's your plan this turn?
Kill a turtle. You think the top turtle is safe? You've mentioned it a few times as we were talking. I think I have enough volume attacks from range just to kill a turtle. And how that's going to happen is I juice for 3, so I go to 6. So once again, I go to 8 focus for my turn. I got to stay outside of 16 because I can't channel.
Yeah, Castigate is a thing.
Yeah, it's really good against this list. So assassinating his caster will never happen because most of my spells are 10 or 8. So
well, I mean, your caster could walk up and do it if he's within 16.
Well, I guess I'm that close. It's do or die anyways. So
yeah.
So
it's not great.
I'm actually measuring out a few things here. I want to score 2 this turn. That requires me just to kill a turtle in the top zone, put a jack in the zone, and also put a solo on my flag. Well, the solos I have left are Alyce and my caster. My caster can't get there, but Alyce can get there by either walking and repoing or running. And the problem with the walk and repo is there's models in the way. So I have to there's order of activation issues I have here. So I'm trying to do the math to see what's the best here. I upkeep Iron Flesh because I just feel like that's the best thing to do in my bottom zone, since that bottom zone has a lot more shooting, and being armor 22 versus shooting, I feel like I can last one more round before I might start losing health, losing models off the table. So the bottom I'm not really worried about. He doesn't have a solo on his flag either right now, so I'm kind of not worried about him scoring this turn. But I do want to put some models in there to contest. And like Evan said, those Rocketmen being defense 16 are just annoying because they're immune to blast damage too when they're 16. And they have dodge if you miss them. So they can just do a lot of things. This Alchemist just kind of walks over, puts a cloud up here because I feel like if Lukas moves, he'll go ahead and go more towards the middle of the table and just force him to use a guidance again to see through the clouds. I'm just doing some measuring. I decide that, you know what? I want to run this arc node right there. Yeah, it might have been a mistake. I'm just trying to figure out how to do this. Measuring 16. I'm pretty sure Lukas just kind of disintegrates your turtle, and then I just kind of shoot off the table. That's my plan. So my plan is here. Order of activation. Do I activate the rocket first? Do I activate Lukas first? Because the rocket can give -2 armor, but Lukas gives -2 armor. So which one actually is it better? Is there certain ways of me doing it? So it's a lot of thinking this turn. I'm just kind of playing out how to kill a turtle because I want to make sure I kill a turtle so I can score. I feel like if I get the scenario lead in this game, I can hold it long enough where when I do feat, I'm able to clear as much as I can to score the remaining CPs. Playing my turn. A lot of guns will be going down in the bottom half of the zone. A lot of guns in the top half of the zone. And I'm hoping my Rocketmen are not used to kill a turtle, but I might need to use all of them to kill a turtle in the top zone. That was what the math is going through my head right now, counting. So I disintegrate to the far one within 10 hits. The arc node does not go out. So whenever I arc through one of my arc nodes, I have to roll. If I roll a 1 or 2, one of the arc node boxes go out, and they only have 2. So bringing 2 arc nodes with a caster and cast like 5 or 6 disintegrates a turn is pretty good. So disintegrate, I boost a hit. POW 13, your armor is, I don't know, outrageous.
20 goes down to 18, and you're also going to Withering Rocket me. So, I mean, the Disintegrate is dice -5. The rocket itself is dice
-3?
2. Because that's an additional -2, and you're POW 14 on the
Yeah,
rocket.
I am, yeah.
So the rocket does a significant portion of damage.
No, this little dude does a different point. Yeah, this little dude rolls.
Yeah. The carbines you also get in, which is pretty clever. Gets 2 additional POW 10s in. One
dice
of
off
which does
6.
5 damage.
Yeah, dice off 6 with the carbines, and then dice off 2 with the rocket. So it's, extra damage here. My Jack walks up. I gave him a focus just to boost.
Guarantee that hit.
Guarantee the hit. I boost damage. It's dice off 3.
Your POW 14?
Yeah.
-2.
Dice off 2, now you're like down to like 11 boxes.
12.
12. I'm like, okay, cool. My Stormtroopers will aim and shoot. They're POW 14s when they direct hit.
They also crush their damage rolls. You roll 2 11s in a row there. And that's a dead turtle.
Yep, so that was a lot less attacks than I thought I needed.
You also get you had an extra dude left over. You scatter to the direction 1 6 inches and crush 2 beast handlers.
High explosive.
So that's just a great incidental shot you get there.
And that unit Evan has in the top zone is not in the top zone. I clarified it when he moved it. He said, nope, we're not enough.
Couldn't quite make it.
So I will be scoring 2 in my top zone. My Jack, I will be putting something on that flag because that's what my plan was. And when you put Alyce on the flag, you kind of have to kill her twice.
Not even kind of. You do have to kill her twice.
And
it gets harder to do the second time.
Yeah, she turns into this like big Alyce, which is really weird because Lukas is like
it's
married.
Like Jekyll and Hyde.
Well, Lukas is married to Alyce, so when Alyce turns into big
Look,
Alyce,
man,
it's kind of
Don't kink shame Lukas.
I'm just saying.
They have a loving marriage. They're allowed to do whatever they'd like together.
So I got 2 another Death Rocket. They're just really good. I'm at 5 trying to hit 13. I miss. That's cool. Deviation comes back, clips the one dude where my 2 carbines were lined up to hit. It's a POW 7. Your -2 armor kills.
And I'm like, okay, I guess the carbines aren't shooting anything.
Yeah. So they reaple 3 back and they just kind of chill. Being most of my army immune to corrosion and fire, so you can't really do Breath of Corruptions to most of my stuff.
Yeah, Breath of Corruption does not work against either assault trooper or either trooper unit. We'll just call them trooper units.
Troopers.
However, it's not blast damage, so it's real good at killing Rocketmen.
Yes, you can get a lot of Rocketmen. So my plan here is pulling some Stormtroopers, trying to shoot some 2 or 3 more guys off the table. My aim guy goes to 8 hits, just blows them up. This guy's going to shoot hits 6, 14. They're at 6 when they aim to go to 8. This guy's going to hopefully get lucky deviations because this is what you do. Deviation goes nowhere. I always show it. Doesn't go nowhere, so that's fine. So now I'm just like, cool. Knock a few more of those guys off. Less of a CRA you can do down to my army. I'm like, what do I do? I'm scoring 2. How do I kind of protect myself enough where I can go into the following turn and have a feat? Because when I play Lukas, it's a turn 3 feat. It's just, I'm at 9 focus. I'm just like, I go to 17. It's just like, blow up whatever you can. So I'm like, cool. Assault troopers that have Iron Flesh are going to run. This one runs to engage. The hammer's just in the way. He's engaging. Other one just runs, and one runs behind the rubble. I'm just trying to make it hard for you to place a large base proxy. A huge base proxy to get on my caster. My caster's only camping 2. So here comes the healing buddies. It's D3 plus 2 from Morray. Heals them.
Yep, they heal the full.
Heal full, and then the Zephyr 3 inches back, so they can't, you can't target them with drifts and stuff like that, or AoEs. I'm like, sweet. What do I do now? Where's my plan? I'm just trying to figure out what you can do the following turn. I'm afraid of the assassination because of the shamans. I'm not sure if the second shaman's in. I know one's in for sure.
Yeah, the far shaman is not, but the close shaman is.
So I'm just saying, man, you can get one shaman, a snipe shot. If you get me on your feet, it's really gross. There's a lot of things you can do. I'm like, okay, Rocketman will do defensive order, which puts them to defense 16 and immune to blast. They're going to walk 7. They're going to take some pot shots at people. They're going to kind of just try to hold a line of engagement middle of the table in front of my caster. I'm not worried about the top zone. If you want to put some more stuff in the top zone, do what you can. That's fine because I feel like I have enough guns and enough stuff in the top zone. I can clear it out. So now I'm just trying to hold you from scoring, period. So I have 4 Rocketmen. 4 Rocketmen within the flag. Like that's my goal. I'm shooting my bomb. The one Rocketman in the middle of the table kills his last slinger. And then he tries to dodge into the rubble.
Swift Hunter into the rubble?
Yeah, Swift Hunter does not fully get into the rubble. And then I'm just like, cool. I'm going to take some POW 10 shots at some slingers, POW 10 shots at this dude that gives you magic guidance. I'm trying to kill this guy that has guidance, which is defense 16 because of Kreia aura, and it doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. It's just really strong. Alyce just runs to the flag. Like I said, he has to kill him twice. She's a 13-11 the first time around with 5 boxes. And then she's a 13-17 with 8 boxes with tough. So
as soon as John ends his turn, scores 2, I measure to see if I can get Lukas in my feet. Unfortunately, I can't. If Lukas is in my feet, if Rasheth is 2 inches further up the table, I'm fairly sure I can kill Lukas this turn. If that's the case, unfortunately, it's not. The way that would happen is I get both my feet on him. I can arc a blood mark, and I can do something real cute with Rasheth, which is I can throw an influence through one of my own models onto the Dragon's Breath rocket and shoot Lukas in the back with it.
Yeah, we talked about this afterwards. I'm just like, that would hurt.
Yes, because that's a total. If you folks at home are doing the math, of -6 to Lukas's armor, which makes him armor 10.
Yeah.
So the Dragon's Breath rocket is plus
4
against him. But anyways, I unfortunately cannot do any of that. One of my shamans ends up frenzying because I was 1 fury too many, and goes into the other shaman. Whatever, that's fine. He was not in range of Lukas anyway, and I can't go after that assassination. So he's just going to be around. So we run the slingers, or sorry, not the slingers, my beast handlers now.
Turn 3, remember, turn 3.
Turn 3, sorry, beast handlers into arcing range of some stuff. So the plan changes to try to get some good attrition work done and try not to lose on scenario. So I move all the beast handlers into arcing position. Rasheth goes up and feats. Rasheth then boosts a blood mark onto the Vindicator to give him an additional -2 armor, because you're typically targeting heavies with blood mark. And then I have 5 on me after that because I didn't bother boosting the blood mark. And I throw up Castigate because that's means I'm less likely to just straight up get assassinated next turn. And I camp 3. Also a very good deterrent for that assassination.
Especially with a chef where you have one less damage die.
Yeah, Impervious Flesh helps too. I'm like, all right, well, the flare cannon's going to go. It's going to get 4 shots, and it's going to shoot the Vindicator. Math, I go to POW 15. And you go to armor 14. So it's dice +1 with 4 shots.
Yeah,
which does, on average, 8, 16, 32 damage.
Yeah.
Or 34 damage. That's a dead Vindicator from a free weapon crew. Yep, that happens. It's just dead.
Yeah, I was shocked. I was like, oh, this weapon crew just killed my heavy.
Blood mark's a hell of a drug. Shaman's going to go up, shoot Alyce. Hopefully get her out of her human form. Does so very easily when she's -2 armor and defense. And then the Raider is hopefully going to kill her Beastman form.
13,
Boost
17.
Hits. Dice -2. I need a 10 to kill. I roll a 9, so
Leaves me a
Alyce
1.
is still on that flag. So I have to find a way to get her off of that flag,
And
or
I fail
find a
tough.
way. Yeah, either get her off that flag, make her fail tough, or I have to find a way of contesting that flag. So what's next? Well, we have this little Rocketman issue in front of us with the turtle. I actually boosted it with my independent attack, so I can do it before I move. I was planning on killing this Rocketman and then charging, but John decides to do a polite dodge for me, dodges into the other arc, so I can boost a hit with that spear as well. I'm not sure he realized that there was a spear in both arcs.
I wasn't sure you can do an independent attack on both sides. I thought it was just like a one-time thing, but I guess it's both sides. These turtles just get better every time I play them.
So I'm gonna boost against that Rocketman. Here I'm proxying out a trample, which I'm fairly sure you can't actually do after a independent attack, and I figure that out about halfway through. I'm like, wait a second, that's not how the rules work. Me. So I kill that Rocketman and then just decide, okay, nope, I can actually do something legal now and charge at the Ashen Veil Man, avoiding a free strike, thankfully.
So he charges my Assault Trooper, defense 13.
Hit him, no problem.
Not a problem because your feet, so defense 11.
With Iron Flesh, it's dice even. So I only need to roll a 5 to kill. Do that, no problem. And I dial up shots with the gun. So here, I'm looking at my targets on the table, and I'm like, there's not a whole lot of good targets here. What I should have targeted was the objective, but I really couldn't see it from where I'm standing.
That's fair.
I didn't think of it. It's what I should be targeting. Instead, I target just some random models that I don't actually hit or do damage to.
You actually targeted the arc node or
Yeah.
a wall with it's just insane.
It's def 17.
Yeah.
It's 15 on my feet.
But yeah, you missed both attacks, did nothing.
And then I repo the turtle around a little bit. And get into these Rocketmen. This Kreia is going to walk 6, boost to hit his paralyzed gun into the back of the Rocketman in the rubble.
Well, not quite in the rubble, but like
Yeah, not quite.
he hits it, so he's paralyzed, which is really good.
Yep. Then the eyeless sight lady goes up and just shoots him and kills him. Gets onto my flag.
What you don't see right now, there's still 2 Rocketmen in
In contesting
contesting,
rage.
and I just made sure Evan knew there's still 2 within 4. I measured at the start, and
I was
he's
like,
yeah,
yep,
no problem.
I'm planning on killing them with these Reavers. And then after I move a bunch of the Reavers and start making some plans for shots, make sure everyone can see, I realize I've engaged one of these Rocketmen, so I can't actually CRA at it. So I'm just going to hope for boxcars on one of my shots, and then maybe I can score my own zone.
Yeah, so the one you can't really see it's right behind the turtle. Its defense
You can't see
16
either
goes to
of them,
14.
I'm pretty
Goes to 18. The one Rocketman's defense 18 engaged, needing boxcars.
Yeah.
He kills the one that's in the open, but then I'm just like, okay,
Couple of cracks of
boxcars.
boxcars.
I'm like, I'm gonna dodge past your front arc, so I can use them next turn.
Yeah, so you dodge to the edge of it, and then when I take the second shot, you dodge out of my arm.
100%. Yeah, I was just making sure Evan didn't have anything else at the end of the turn he could do. I'm like, cool, you don't? Okay, cool. I'll dodge forward even farther.
Yep. I take a CRA at a random Iron Flesh guy, don't do any damage. I'm like, oh, all right. So that turn, none of the things I wanted to do actually happened. You score 1 on your flag, which takes you to 3 points and me to 0. So you only actually have to score 1 additional point
To this flag.
to win on scenario, because I couldn't clear my zone, couldn't clear my flag, couldn't clear your flag, and just didn't even see your objective to shoot it. So it's a bit of a comedy of errors there.
Also, Rocketmen are not the easiest thing to clear. You got to put a lot of resources to them.
No, that's true.
So, like, engaging one was a mistake. I agree. 100%.
Yep.
But, like, the one in your zone, you just couldn't do anything else at it.
Yeah,
Like,
so it's one of the many things I could have tried to do, and just it didn't happen. But definitely, if I hadn't engaged the one Rocketman, I was likely to kill
Score
it with
one.
a 2-man
100%.
CRA and score 1.
so, like, it should be 3-1,
Yeah.
which means I have to score 3 this turn, which isn't not tough of a problem right now either. So we're just measuring out Lukas. This is turn 3. What did I say? I juiced to 3 more. I'm at 9. Turn 3 is where I go and feet and I just kill whatever I can.
So we're measuring this out. You're debating whether or not you want to clear the top zone, take out the weapon crew and the shaman, or if you just want to kill the objective for the point.
So I feel like both ways is possible. The top zone is where that proxy base is where my arc node would run to outside your 16, and it would just like force hammer the 2 guys in the top zone and force hammer the guy in the corner of the zone, and they'll just clear the zone, and then I'll just kill the objective afterwards if I need to score 3. But I don't need to score 3. I was like, okay, cool. I only need to score 2. So now I'm just kind of measuring what I need to get done. Lukas goes up to 17 focus when he feats, which is 5 disintegrates because there's cost 3 because I don't have Ominus. And that means I can boost 2. So it requires the objective goes at armor 16, it's dice off 3, and with 2 boosts with 5 disintegrates, I should kill the objective by himself. And then I just end the turn and score 2 and go 5-0.
Yeah, so I mean the easy way out is just force hammer 2 of my dudes.
Is that the easier way out though? I'm not sure.
I think so. Right?
I don't know. Like
because your focus 8, you boost a force hammer and it's POW 12, which auto kills the weapon crew.
So that's 4 focus on my 17.
It's 5.
5. So I'm at 12.
And then you just boost to hit a force hammer at the shaman, right? And that's 10. And you have 7 focus left after that.
So I guess I do miss one. Yeah, if I do miss. So I go for the objective one.
But
style.
The objective one, definitely, you're not going to miss it ever. I think you 2-shot the objective with disintegration.
Yeah, I just boost, and it's just like, okay, my dice just blew up. Yeah, I was like, I'm not even going to mark it down. He did 9.
Like, oh, you did 13 damage on the first one. Well,
yeah.
I guess it dies on the second one.
And then I roll damage, end it, and I kill the objective, and I score 1, go to 5. And also, like, I still have my whole rest of my turn. So, like, what I could have done that turn if I couldn't, let's say if you did score 1 and you could test my flag, that bottom zone turtle's dead.
Yes, there's a lot that, so if I am able to do the things that I need to do in order to not lose on scenario that turn, I think you still win the attrition game long term. You disintegrate another turtle off the table. You clear out a lot of the reavers with your assault trooper shots.
Yeah, it's just I was in a really good
at that
forward
point,
position.
I have to survive with Rasheth and kill you after your feet turn once you take your
Take 9 at my end of my feet turn.
9 damage.
And heal up whatever. So let's say I'm at, like, I take 5 total, so I'm at like 11 boxes left.
Yeah.
But like it's just really hard to kill me when it's not your feet turn because like behind that wall was just key for me all game.
Yep. I mean, you supposedly wouldn't be behind the wall if you have to go out and clear some stuff, but yeah.
Yeah. Also, yeah. So the arc knows like your one spell where I can't arc is
Castigate's
so big.
pretty important in this matchup.
Yeah, it made it really cagey, and I had to play my matchup differently than I usually would because usually it's like I run my arc nodes up and I just try to kill your caster.
Yeah. That said, Carapace was a very strong tool for you this game. Yeah, so that's that. I think we're going to be trying to get some more Crucible Guard on the channel very soon.
100%.
Get some Silvestro or Silvestro. He doesn't actually have an L, but everyone pronounces it Silvestro.
Silvestro.
It's just a real name as opposed to the other thing, which is not. Well, it's like Sylvester. Yeah, not the point.
Either way, I have all models all ready to paint, and we're just going to set some times.
And we've just started building McKay, have we not?
McKay is being built and being painted, and Railises are also on the table. So
yeah, Railless Interceptors on the way.
For
all right.
huge bases, here they come.
Yeah. All right.
Choo-choo.
So that is our game for this week. If you're watching on Patreon, thank you very much for supporting us. We really appreciate it. It helps us a lot. And if you're watching on YouTube, thank you for watching as well. Be sure to leave your comments on either YouTube or Patreon. Let us know what you thought of the match and the lists and my Rasheth conversion because I think it's pretty sweet.
it's sick.
And we'll see you next Monday.
All right, take care, guys.